No, keep it going. Keep it going.
Nah.
Okay, that's enough. No copyright.
No. Hey, Judd.
All right. Well, we are live. So, hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Ink. We are the talk show that takes you behind the book to meet the authors and professionals, because we are all so professional in the publishing industry.
They gave me an award for this, guys. They've given me an award for this. Just remember that.
That's okay. For singing off key. Hi.
Hi.
I love it. You guys are great. Well, you guys that are watching there probably know this man already. He's been on our show multiple times. He's a friend of the show. We've been on his show. It is Joshua Pantalleresco. Hey, Josh, how we doing?
I completely butchered Hey Jude. I'm sorry, guys. I murdered the song.
That's okay.
Hey, Anita, thanks for watching us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all getting a little giddy. It's the end of the year. This is the happy season. This is when all the pretty lights are out and some people get snow and
I got
we're
snow.
all focusing on, we lost Jane.
Jane
On
got lost.
looking forward to celebrating something, no matter what you celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
I think December is a month where we're almost always kind of a little more positive or a little more happy.
I've seen that go both ways.
Oh, okay.
I've seen like there is a group of people that this time of year is actually one of the most depressing times of year too. There is a group of people that it is the case. So if you are going through a rough time, we'll just do this public service announcement now. If you are one of those people that do have a hard time this time of year, remember you aren't alone. Don't be afraid to reach out. People do love you. Just reach out, because otherwise no one's going to know what you're going through.
That's the hardest thing, though, for people who are going through trouble. Reaching out can be one of the most difficult things to do. And it comes from various reasons. It comes from sometimes they have shame in themselves. Sometimes they feel like there's nobody who's going to listen. Sometimes the world has been cold enough to them. They don't believe that there's caring people out there.
So I learned this lesson with my teeth, actually, of all things, because I was about 4 years ago, I did a GoFundMe for my teeth. It came about because a friend of mine, I'm going to name her on the air, Susie Vidori, made the suggestion that you should ask for help to raise money for your teeth.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a turning point for me, because so for me, like my teeth was a big representation of some of my own personal in the past. And I was ready to fix my teeth. I just was ready for it. And when that moment came, anger and other issues I had came to the surface. I didn't realize were still there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think you deal with some things, and then when you're actually ready to fix some things, those emotions that you thought you had under control,
buried
as
deep.
my earpiece falls out, trained professional that I am.
That's okay. My camera died because we sang so badly.
Yeah, that's right.
It just gave up. It said, "That's it. I quit."
Yeah, it did. I'm like, what?
I murdered one camera, has been murdered on the air. I am proud of myself. I am genuinely proud. I murdered the camera. Anyways, that'll set here. Does the camera have a name? I should ask this.
Logitech.
Go. I can't say that on the air. Just Logitech.
No.
Just, I'm glad you're dead. I mean,
Wow.
rest in peace. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
But, yeah.
I'm like, I have no idea what happened. It just went off air. I'm like, ah.
Do we have a record for how quickly we've spiraled off topic?
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
the first 15 seconds was pretty much went off topic, so it's all good. Yeah, but to finish my story on the air, Susie made the suggestion to ask for help, and it never occurred to me to do that. My family is not the type of people to ask for help, and I realized. Yeah, Rebekah, don't worry. You didn't miss much.
You didn't miss a thing.
No, but it was so freeing, because I realized that I could be vulnerable. I could be in even if no one had come to help me. Honestly, it wasn't in my case, dentist, it wasn't that the dentist scared me. It did a little. I wouldn't be 100% honest if I didn't say it didn't scare me a little bit. There were other things on the inside I needed to deal with. But being open and honest and vulnerable about those things for the first time ever, I actually dealt with a significant amount of demons that I otherwise, I don't think I would have had them all. It was one of those things because I was ready to solve the problem and I opened up. A lot of my answers and a lot of the things I needed to deal with happened. And that was because I asked. Yeah. So then after the money was raised, I went to Mexico like around the first of the year. Mexico is awesome to get your teeth fixed, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. But no, it's like asking for help is a tough thing because it means you're vulnerable.
It means you're human.
Yeah. Ironically, that's when you're at your strongest though. Because it's when you can acknowledge your vulnerabilities, that you're honest, and you're in a place where you actually in a place of strength. You're acknowledging your pains. You're acknowledging you're being authentic. You're acknowledging a piece of yourself that often you armor up against.
So
it's ironic. Yes.
I will respectfully disagree.
That's okay. That's it.
Not showing a soft underbelly to no one.
That's okay. You don't.
I asked for help at the store because I can't reach the top shelf.
And here I am climbing up the shelf.
I've done that too, but I'm looking at the shelves that are stocked full. I'm like, I can't do that. Not without bodily injury.
At the same time, there's just that point of lazy too. Is it really worth the effort of me climbing up for that thing?
Right.
If somebody else is willing
when there's a tall person right there.
That's right. Is it worth it?
Exactly.
Different ways of approaching it. But that also is based on how we were raised too and what we've dealt with going through. If you've gotten help when you've absolutely needed it from others, then you probably will be more likely to ask for help. But if you've gotten smacked in the face when you've asked for help, you're going to be way less likely to ask anyone for help.
It goes both ways a little bit for sure. But ironically enough, for me, it was a big unlearning lesson because my I love Becca. Hey Becca, how you doing? But but it was an unlearning experience for me too, because it's actually when I honestly opened up about some things I don't open up about. So it was, there's a readiness, I think. And also just, it's just for my case in particular, I was ready. It doesn't mean I'm going to ask for help every single time, because sometimes you don't need it. Right. But
sometimes you have to figure that shit out on your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's more often than not. More often than not, unfortunately.
Rebekah, I never just go by what people say. I have 8 rules to success, and the very first rule, actually it's 9 rules now, but the first rule of success is show up. It's like the dumbest rule ever, but it's amazing how many people break that rule.
No, it's very annoying how many people break that rule.
Hey, rule 1.
All right, I want to know the rest of these rules of success. There's 9 of them, you said?
There's 9.
Yeah, let's go through them.
Let's go through this list. I want to hear it.
Yes, we want to hear it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Josh Pantalleresco. Yes, that's. Listen, that is not even. I will respect you just for the simple point that it's original. All for the Pantalleresco. Rule. Okay. Do you want the kid friendly or the not so kid friendly version of this?
Oh, not so kid friendly.
Okay, so first rule, show up.
Yep.
Second rule, do your shit. Number 3 is the cliche. Don't quit. It's the truth. The biggest 2 rules people break are rules 1 and 3. Right? So the biggest rule 1 and 3. Hey, Tim, how was my beautiful singing voice? Rule 4. The rest is rain.
The sound of the running water drowned it out a little bit.
Rule 4. The rest is rain. Now, this one might seem like an odd one because it's like, what does that mean? Well, it's like this. The paradox of success is you can do everything absolutely correctly and still fail.
Yep.
All right. But if you don't do those things, you are guaranteed to fail. That's the paradox of success. Right? Fair. That's fair, Rebekah. That's totally fair. But I'm so glad, Tim. I'm glad you're with us.
Yes.
Any of our audio listeners are going to be wondering why the hell there's all these asides and just random conversation. For those of you, we do have comments that are coming in, and Josh is responding directly to the comments right now.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just used to it because I do it on my show too, right? So, but the rest is rain is just simply a matter of preparation, and I am amazing. Anyways, but the thing is, like, so then your job, like the ultimate job, then you have when you realize that you don't have necessarily control what the result's going to be, is do everything you can to prepare yourself for the opportunities that come, and that's so which leads to rule 5: get the fuck out of your way. And this came to a very when I was nominated for the Aurora for my show, I actually asked the question of how I got there. And one of the things I realized is I looked at who I was honestly. What am I good at? What am I not so good at? And if I can avoid my weaknesses, right? How did I get here? What do I do well? What are my weaknesses so I can either avoid them or minimize them? Because obviously no one's perfect. But those are the thing I understand is it keeps me going in the realm of success. Since then, Alice 0, my first book in the Alice series, has been nominated for the Algon Award. So I've been nominated, and so recognition, right? I keep doing the things that work for me. Rule 6: be grateful, be charitable. Always thank you. Always appreciate the little bit. Rule 7: no excuses. So there is no excuses. You do it or you don't. And really, the rest of it doesn't fucking matter. Rule 8: stay uncomfortable, because that's where you grow. Often your fears and your discomforts are the places where you need to go right into the heart of, because those are the keys to your freedom. Every single time, it's where you grow, right? Rule 9: do not fall in love with outcomes. Something I've been very, very aware of is we have a tendency to fall in love with, if we do this thing, this will happen. No. Better instead to go, keep an open mind. Don't fall in love with any outcome. Instead, be detached from outcomes and work at it. Instead, just do the things you know you can absolutely control. Be open-minded enough to accept new information when it comes your way. Because here's the thing: if you fall in love with an outcome, you will actually grow more resistant to anything that's contrary to that. And as a result, you'll fuck yourself hard, because you will no longer be able to face reality. You have put yourself in a position of, this is my outcome. This is the only outcome it's going to be. It has to work this way. That, my friends, is madness. Instead, I'm going to do this hoping this will happen. And if new information comes my way that changes my mind, I'm open enough to at least listen to it.
Okay.
Those are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are good. Those are very good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's my secret. If you really want to know, I don't give myself excuses. I show up and do the best I can. I don't always succeed. I get a lot of no's. I don't give a shit. I believe in myself. I know who I am. I know what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to keep on going. And I'm not in love. Again, I don't care. This is going to sound really weird. I don't care how I'm recognized. I'm more concerned with building the story I'm creating at this point than I am what the outside. And that's not saying that I don't appreciate people coming to me and saying, hey, I love my books. Hey, I love your podcast. Hey, I do. I really do. But I'm doing this for me.
Right.
I'm not
you're
doing
happy
this
with you. Yeah, you're happy with you. You find your happiness within, as opposed to relying on outside forces to make you happy, which is really key.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a big thing, because one of the biggest things I realize in this life is, more often than not, we seek permission and recognition. I don't give a shit about any of that crap. I don't need permission. I'm going to do it. If I get recognized, that's cool. If I don't, that's also cool. I'm doing it anyway. I have no fucks to give. So
I love that.
Yeah. Right.
I like that.
Yeah. It's honest. Like I'm at that point in my life where it's a beautiful thing. I don't have to cooperate. I don't care. I don't have to be. I can be curmudgeonly if I want to be. Everything's a negotiation. This is me as a freelancer speaking here. If everything's a negotiation, then at the end of the day, it's really about what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So then I don't gotta play by any of your rules. I just gotta play by mine. All right. And that's that. Yeah, pretty much. I don't. That's probably going to get me in trouble in the years to come. I'm sure somehow, some way, I might be more infamous than famous when it's all said and done. Meh. So I mean, that's kind of how I look at it.
I'll still know who you are.
Yeah, that's it. This life is not about impressing everybody else around you. It's about being comfortable. You gotta look in the mirror and be happy with who you are.
Mm-hmm. That's number one.
Yeah,
you have to be able to do that before you can have any successful relationship too.
Successful relationship, successful career, everything. You gotta like that person, because that's the person that's going to go somewhere, and it's going to go. And this is the nightmare we all suffer from. At the end of the day, we all do what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
The only question is, are we doing what we want consciously or unconsciously? If it's unconscious, we in trouble. If it's conscious, we still might be in trouble, but at least we're directing the ship. Right? So
blame for it. All right, fine. I did it to myself.
Yeah. Do you want me to sing, Rebekah?
No.
Do you want me to sing, Becca, on the air? I've already murdered one song.
I actually sang on the air, okay? This has never happened before, and it will never happen again.
You say that now. There's some Christmas edition. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm on your show again. You're going to make me sing, aren't you?
But you don't have to if you don't want to.
No, you don't have to. You don't. No. See.
I'll lip sync.
So I gotta say, like, when Jay was such a pleasant surprise on my show. I know, and I mean that in like the best possible way. She was such a wonderful surprise. We have more in common than I thought we did, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. So
I'm just old, right?
Yeah.
That I said that on his show the first time, and he didn't know what to do.
Because what am I supposed to like? She could still kick my ass. I don't care how old she is. She can still do it. So what am I gonna do?
It was fun to make him speechless.
It can be done.
I don't think it ever happens. Hold on a second. You actually made him speechless?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did.
Wow. Wow.
How do you follow? Okay, Katie.
Achievement unlocked right there.
Yeah. How do you follow that? Like, what can I say that doesn't get me in trouble?
Yeah, not much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's push it around to something positive then, because you do have some recent achievements that we need to talk about.
Yes.
Okay. So where do you want to start? The book or the new show? What do you want? Where do you want me to go?
Let's go books first.
Okay, so I did a sequel to Alice Zero. Alice Zero got nominated for the Elgin Award this year, which I think is really cool. I don't think I won it, but that's actually really cool that I got nominated for it. And then my sequel just literally came out 3 days ago. So yeah,
you're on fire.
Yeah. So Alice 1 is the official plot is Alice plays Jason of the Argonauts in croquet in the Greek underworld in a labyrinth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Very Wonderland. So Alice. So for those of you who don't know, my Alice series is a mashup of Alice in Wonderland and Greek mythology.
Cool.
Right. And Alice is Pandora. And so in the first book, she opens Pandora's box and gets a certain Cheshire friend inside her head. And they have to escape an insane asylum run by the playing cards. This one, without spoiling what happens in the first one too much, She's chasing the Queen of Hearts, and the Queen goes over the edge of the world, and there's this portal. She falls in, and then she finds herself on the Argo, and she sails into the Greek underworld, and there she meets Jason, who I think is a great villain, actually more than a hero, in my opinion. And so Alice and Jason play croquet using Stygian birds as flamingos in the underworld. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got caught up with the comments for a second there. Rebekah's
like, yeah, okay.
Yes. I'm not leaving you known, Becca.
Soft and not too stinky. What?
She's met me. She can say that.
I'm hungry.
No,
the book is very fun.
Like cool.
Yeah.
That sounds wicked cool. I have to.
Yeah, I like
get it to the top of my to be read pile.
Well, no, so like because Alice and Pandora, if you sit there and think about it, is the same story. It really is. Because Pandora is curiosity compels her to open the box. Alice's curiosity compels her to go down the rabbit hole. Right? It's the same story, really, when you look at it at the end of the day. So now I'm having some fun. I get to mash up Wonderland characters with Greek gods and monsters and everything else like that. And sometimes just there's not really mashups, they're just true aspects. It's really fun. No, Jason is a villain. And mine, he's an asshole, a total asshole. I had a lot of fun writing him. My favorite character to write, though, in that story, I always enjoy writing Alice and the cat's interactions, because the cat is in her head and in her shadow, which I think is a really neat little. They have a very interesting relationship, and I really, really had a lot of fun with it. And I modified it even slightly, even compared to the version Joe got. Their interactions are very sisterly, actually, which is kind of fun.
I like it. So it's been nominated for awards.
The first one was anyway, yeah.
Congratulations.
It's brand new, ready to be. Oh, you said it just released.
It literally just released, yeah.
Wow.
Sequel, yeah.
All right. Is there going to be another book after this?
Yes. So the first book was Alice Zero.
Uh-huh.
The second book is called Alice 1, as in WON ?
Okay.
The second book is called Alice 2 TOO.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Yes.
And now, how are you finding time to write this? Because you have so many other things you're doing, which we're going to talk about here, because that's part of your achievements so far.
Well, I've been a freelancer so I've been doing the freelance life pretty much seriously from it definitely has its moments for sure. I'm not going to spoil it too much. No spoilers. Joe. No spoil it too much. Mentioned a few things, but I didn't spoil it too much. So I've been freelancing seriously since the pandemic started. See, I because of my own personal history, the pandemic didn't impact me the same way it impacted a lot of other people. I've had a sickness where I've lost control of my body. I've also come face to face with my own mortality. There is nothing about this time that scares me at all. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's just how I'm wired. So I started just like, well, what do I want to do next with my life? And I don't really want to work for anybody anymore. I'm too old for that shit. So I'm going to be a freelancer. And the first year I did some really cool things I'm proud of. But at the same time, it was like there was always that thing in the back of my mind, well, what if I screw up? So I did some temp work off and on. I was in Windsor, Ontario still at this time. I'm in Canmore, Alberta now, just to give you an idea where I'm at right this minute. I'm making one of my guests in particular very jealous that I have mountains beside me every day. It's great. So I was doing temp work, and I realized like freelancing kind of has changed my mentality a lot. I cannot look at a job, like an actual like day job, the same way anymore. I don't see myself as an employee. And freelancing is very much a mental game. It really, really is. So what's happened to me is since July, I have made more money in the 6 months I've been a freelancer, right, in the last 6 months than I did in the first year. A lot that's my mentality. And I now do a show where I'm talking about Canadian immigration. That's evolved. The podcast has been a regular thing on Twitch. I've been published in Writers Weekly, Author Magazine, I'm Here With Magazine. Missing one. Where am I missing? Done Anime Herald the year previously. I have now a resume for article writing, plus my first comics column. Then I've also written, I started drawing. I just decided, like, honestly, that I was going to make time for everything I wanted to do. And I'm going to just do it. And going back to this, I have no fucks to give. I'm just going to go out there and I'm just going to do my thing. And I'm going to see how it plays out. And it's been working out wonderfully. I think the confidence, especially the second time around, like I said, I'm regularly now making 4 figures as a freelancer. I think I hit full, like, comfortable living. My gut says springtime, I'll be there. I could be wrong, but I think I'm going to get there.
That's good.
Yeah. So awesome. With all the work that you're doing, though, and still writing, how are you balancing the work for pay, work for creativity, and then free stuff? The life experience time.
And family time.
Family time. Well, now that's in November, it's not so much family time. Although I do make it a habit to wander around in the city on a regular basis now. It's really too beautiful not to. It's just, so my day kind of goes like this. It depends on, like, there's 2 days I'm under contract with the show I'm doing. Those 2 days specifically go to that show. My evenings I tend to stream. But the rest of my day is kind of up to me. So also, I took advice from a gentleman by the name of Tim Chismar, and I think this is it. And it was one of the best advice I've ever had as a freelancer. Don't do any work for free. He's right. Like, a really big part of this, when I'm writing for creativity, the goal is to make a sale. It sounds very cynical, but honestly, that's like, I'm not writing as a hobby. I'm writing to make a living. So I got to treat this like a living. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make the time in the day to do that. So that's usually afternoon. Sometimes, like today, like I'm doing another freelance assignment. So today is going to be that freelance assignment. Tomorrow, I am not doing a damn thing because I need a break. And then Monday, I'll do my next assignment because I have another assignment to do. And then in the afternoon, I'll carve a niche to work on because I have my next book ready to go, which I'm writing and drawing. And that book terrifies me because I'm writing and drawing it, right? But it's the next step in my process. And then so that's my work. That's my creative work for the month of December, is doing that new edition because I have a personal deadline of Christmas, and I want to give that book to beta readers because it's a perfect time for a lot of people to read is that holiday. So that's my goal. That's a deadline. And then I do my podcast. I've already got my podcast booked all the way to for the rest of the year, so I don't have to do any of that stuff. So I do the podcast, I post new episodes. When I post my new episodes, and it just becomes a discipline. That's it. Like, you can give yourself time management is, again, something I said, you do it. It's huge.
Yeah.
But what I realize is, again, at the end of the day, you do exactly what you want to do. It doesn't matter who you are. So if I say, I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to make time for that walk. I'm going to write 500 words today. I'm going to make time to write that 500 words today. And even if shit happens, because shit often does, right? You may not get to that 500 words, but you can still make a step forward. And that's the real secret. Some days I'll take a point to pitch to different magazines I regularly publish to. Make that point to do that. Some days I guess, again, I just do this as a routine, and I just let what come my way, and I just do it. Yeah. So
sounds like it's working for you.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the freelance life is definitely something you have to train yourself into. It's not natural for most of us when we go from 9 to 5 to, or whatever your schedule is, to now you are in charge of your hours, when you work, how you work, and who you work with.
It's such a wonderful thing, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
There's a lot of freedom to it, which is nice.
Like 6 months.
Oh, you've got the countdown going.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
That's gonna be wonderful.
Because well, I think we actually are heading to a freelance culture more and more, I guess, because I'm watching what's going on. A lot of people aren't going back. Like in Canada right now, there's currently 1 million jobs open that have not been filled and will not be filled. And in the States, it's even worse. I've seen your numbers.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's even worse. So, and the reason being is because, and let's be honest, these jobs, you're overworked, you're underpaid. And after everything everybody's gone through, a lot of people have pretty much said,
not doing that anymore.
Yeah. It's like, that's it. Right. So they're going to find their own niche. We are heading more and more into a gig culture, all of us. So it might not be a full-time job for everybody. It might be a part-time thing, right? For some people, it might be a side thing for some people. But day jobs as we know it, I think they're going to dwindle, right? So, and especially, I don't think the retirement's going to work the same. I've known this for a long time. Retirement's not going to work the same way. And I think that's going to become much more the reality. There's no such thing as a permanent job. There's no such thing as a permanent situation. It's one day at a time. So there's no loyalty to anybody anymore.
Well, there hasn't been loyalty in corporate America for a while because it's all at this point at will employment. So in most states, there are some that have some things, but in most states it's at will. So it's like, we don't need you anymore, or we need you for 130 hours a week.
Yeah, but we
gotta avoid going too political, though.
I get you. No, I get you. All I'm just saying is people are recognizing it goes both ways.
Right.
And I think what's happened is I think one of the big things about today is that's what this is about. We all have a lot more freedom than we realize. And a lot of us are starting to exercise that. I never am going to probably work for anyone again unless I'm paid like FU money, like literally FU money to do the job, because I'm not wired that way. And you're going to pay me a lot of money to be wired that way for any length of time. I'm totally bribable, but you got the price is right.
I like that. I'm totally bribable.
Hey, I'm honest.
Hey, we all have our price. Have our price.
Open whore right here, Bam. That's okay.
Now, okay, so back to the achievements. Let's keep the positive spin here.
Yeah.
You said you're not only doing your regular podcast, you're also doing a new podcast that's part of your contract.
It's not actually a podcast. It's more like a video log. So what happened was I got hired by a company. I'm hosting with Sarah Stapcheck. We're doing a show about Canadian immigration. We're helping people get acclimated to Canada, how immigration works, how immigration consultants work. And I do interviews on that show. It's a very different me in the sense that it's very PG, very corporate. And it's actually enjoyable because it's a different challenge for me. And I have good bosses. I'm actually been very fortunate with the staff, the bosses. They're giving me a lot of free reign to do a lot of different things, or at least try a lot of different things, because again, they want this to be a good show, and I want this to be a good show because I'm there. And that's a big thing. A lot of credit to Sarah. She's incredibly organized, very good for me that way, because I did it. The show still would have been good with me. It's great because of her.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, how did you end up coming across this?
LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah, LinkedIn. It was something that as a freelancer, LinkedIn is an invaluable resource. It really, really is. I mean, other things I've tried commentary for the NHL, just because I did, because why not, right?
Yeah, right.
I have an incredibly big mouth in like the best of ways. So I can do sports for 3 hours. I have the ability to do that. Why not? So I try so there are these opportunities on LinkedIn that you don't see on the regular job market. So this I came across, and honestly, there's a big thank you to somebody. Mr. Go Indie Now is a big reason how I got the job too. So Joe, thank you very much. But it's one of those things where it just was there. I thought it was a good fit. I knew I clicked really well with the person that interviewed me because we ended up talking about Star Trek for like 20 minutes. I knew I was.
That's always a good sign.
I knew that was going to be a good. It was going to be a good arrangement. It's remote, so I can work pretty much anywhere to do it, which I particularly enjoy at this moment in time. Like so I like my freedom.
Ask if that made you move, because I know you recently moved too.
No, I moved for. The strangest reason of all, for some people, my gut just told me I could do the most good here.
Okay.
It's one of those. It was just one of those. I recognized something. I recognized some stuff, and I just realized that it's like I can do a lot of good here. And
so you came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I know not everybody goes by that, but I tend to just listen to those impulses because they're almost always right. So.
All right. Cool. So what part did Joe and Go Indie Now play again?
He was a reference.
Oh, okay.
Because again, I have a history. The podcast is a history. There's a lot of people that I've interacted with, and yeah.
Rebekah, Joe, get me a job where I can just chat all the time. Sign me up too.
Yeah.
I want to get paid for this. Come on now.
You could. You very easily could. Hell,
I'd be happy at this point with monetization, but that's still a ways off.
Yeah.
We could talk. We could actually talk about that.
We do Skillinging for the love of it, not the money. Clearly,
because we've been doing this for there is no money.
but I get you. I totally get you. But I'm like legit. If you guys wanted to, it's your call. It's your show. You do what you like. It is possible. So.
All right, but let's get back to you.
Okay. What else?
That's an off-camera conversation.
Yeah, it's an off-camera conversation. Okay, yes. What else? What else would you like me to like? Where else do you want to talk about? My drawing, my 1-year Twitch anniversary. I've been on Twitch now for a year.
We're talking about all of your achievements, so just keep going.
So again, since July, I've had 12 articles published in various different places. I'm proud of pretty much all of them. My personal favorite is Who is Quinn Teachma for I'm Here With magazine. That was a lot of fun to do. I was really happy with that. I'm enjoying freelance writing in the sense that I'm getting to try my hand at a lot of different things, and it's a lot of fun to do. Drawing wise, I have been drawing now for over a year. I've actually sold a couple pieces this year, not for a lot of money, but I've actually sold some pieces.
That's nice.
Yeah,
amazing.
So yeah, it's been kind of cool to do that. My show has kind of evolved. There's a drink and draw aspect to the show now, and where I actually do draw with guests.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, well, it's a visual, right? It's a visual thing I do. Shows have become visual, so why not do visual stuff? I want to actually try some more things, but again, it's finding the right guests to do that. Heavy metal bands are now becoming a regular thing on the show as well. So you're going to see more of those. My first one was this week, Ravenous from Calgary. So there'll be Canadian metal bands at first, but there's going to be more music on the show. I've definitely become more involved in the comic scene in a little bit, in the Kickstarter comic scene. Trying to get myself into the point where I'm doing book trailers for Kickstarters, because again, I make videos now. I'm kind of good at it. So, again, Twitch has opened so many doors. My podcast regularly now does 2,000 downloads a month, which is pretty good. It's pretty cool. It's getting to the point, again, I get sponsors now a lot more regularly now. So that's happened. And I do owe it to Twitch. Twitch is an amazing community. I'm focused more there than I am on YouTube, just because I'm YouTube doesn't quite have the same. And that's not a knock to anybody on the YouTube here, by the way. I enjoy the energy and in Twitch a little bit more.
Sure.
I'm like I said, I got a book I'm writing and drawing right now. I never thought I'd say that in a million years. Right. But here I am doing that. And the show I'm doing for immigration is going really good so far. So, I mean, I'm not quite to the point where this is a living where I want making the money I want to yet, but I'm a lot closer. I'm guaranteed to make 5 figures as a freelancer next year, which is pretty cool. So then now it's to the point where it's a good living, and that's, I don't think it's that far off. It's, again, I may sound like a confident, cocky SOB to some of the people here, but Twitch, to answer your question, Anita, it's because it was originally designed to be a video game community. It has evolved into a lot more, much like Kickstarter has evolved into a lot more. But it's still primarily a video game community, and I can honestly swear no one's more passionate about things than gamers. Gamers are like the most passionate fans in the world. They're amazing people, and I have a blast being a part of that, like, all the time. Even when I'm not on my stream, I will go bug other people for their streams, because again, you just meet some really cool, interesting people, and I tell terrible jokes, and sometimes I laugh at them. So, I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, I have a niece. My niece's boyfriend is pretty big on Twitch as well, as a gamer. So, you know, you know, and he's measuring now nursing versus doing Twitch full time. So
now, Jane, you said off air that you've been experimenting with which one?
TikTok.
How's that working? Because I'm not on TikTok at all. So I'm not on Twitch
I'm a bad mess on TikTok. You know, it's like that singing thing, you know. It's like I do 15-second things, and it's just like I have no idea what I'm doing. So
what are you enjoying? I think that's the key. You have to enjoy what you're doing to remain on these platforms.
I'm not consistent enough right now to get any real viewership, but I don't know. The first one I did was about a dream I had, and it was a 15-second thing of a dream, waking up and going, what the hell? But it's yes and no, because it's like when I turn on the camera and I know I have to do a video recording, it's like when we had to read our things for Joe's show. You get on there and you're a little bit like, what the hell?
Yeah, I guess so.
The 3 or 4 takes, and it's just like, what am I doing?
I kind of approach like all these platforms is what is the big part of your identity. That's part of it. And for me, like, Twitch is gaming.
Yep.
My very first signing was a terrible failure, but I learned one of the most important lessons of my life doing it. And that was, how could I get people to come to my event? Because I did everything wrong. I didn't promote it. Store was in like this hidden little nook and cranny in the city where you literally had to know it existed to find it. So I had this really fun idea that I would, I had the guy, the owner's son who was there with me, print out arrows, right? Print out arrows. And we taped them on the sidewalk, like a breadcrumb trail. People followed them. It was probably one of the most important lessons of my life, because it taught me something very important about marketing, right? And the biggest lesson I learned about marketing is, if I go to you, hey, I got this amazing product for sale right now for the low price of this, very quickly the mind will just like go into this like little happy place where it's like, I don't hear you anymore, leave me be, right? Or if I do this, will you leave me alone? Right? It's one or the other, right? Now, but if I go like this, hey, you want to play a game? Now that's a different response. Now you're like, what kind of game? You're not not interested. You may not be fully committed, but you're at that point where it's like, okay, what's
curious.
the game?
You're curious. Yes.
Right.
You've hit the curious button.
Or you're instantly, nope, don't want to.
I have never met that in my life.
I'm the contrarian today. Don't mind me. I'm here to play devil's advocate.
That's okay. Do you like ice cream?
Yes.
No, not you, Jane. Hey, do you like ice cream? Do you like ice cream?
Which kind?
Okay, so there we go. You're not a contrarian, because if you did, a true contrarian answer would have been no, and I would have called you a liar on the air. But that's okay.
Then when you tell me the ice cream, then I say no. I baited you into the next question.
No, you didn't. So I already got the answer I wanted. So there you go. It like the thing is, right? I just learned this. Like, if you play and interact with people and you make it a fun, people don't care so much about your product or what you say, or even to some degree what you read. It sounds sad as a writer in one sense, but here's the other sense. We're trying to make people feel something. So, and people remember that. People will remember they won't necessarily remember how terrible my jokes were, or how bad I butchered an Aerosmith song literally in front of everybody, to the point that I tweeted about it. It's like, I'm sorry I killed your song, Aerosmith fans. I'm so sorry. Right? But they won't remember that, but they will remember the fact that I made them laugh. They remember the fact that I made them feel like there was a little bit of joy in their life. That's what people remember. So my marketing, the way I approach this whole thing, I'm going to have fun, because if I have fun, I'm encouraging everybody around me to have fun. That may not be everybody, but it's not about getting everybody. It's about getting a group of people to find that wonderful ice cream flavor that you've made, right? I have this wonderful, unique ice cream flavor. And you're like, and Katie's like, it better not be Tiger Stripe. It better not be freaking Tiger Stripe, right?
She's not laughing. She's just like,
right.
Tell me the ingredients in this ice cream.
Croquet and Stygian birds and other things, right? Anyways, there's other, but that's the thing. I get these people come, and people that go down this will get this feeling of hopefully wonder, magic, a little bit of the absurd, and occasionally I sneak up, and quote Joe, I sneak up on you and make you think about some things in a profound way, because that's how I write. That's what I care about. And in turn, maybe what you care about. And maybe I make that difference. And you won't necessarily remember what I say, but you'll remember how I made you feel. Mm-hmm. And every form of marketing, that's what it's about. It's not about a sale. It's about making a connection, establishing a relationship. It's about making people feel something.
Absolutely.
And if you can do that, if you can legitimately do that.
I apparently amused Rebekah, but
yes.
I totally feel like the lawyer who turned himself to a cat on that platform. That's what I feel like. So
has a very
grandma. I do it. Yes.
So and as for Rebekah,
Rebekah doing it though. That's the thing. I have yet to really embrace Twitter or just not Twitter, TikTok, and what's the other one? Twitch, because I don't know. I'm so used to what I'm doing. I'm the old lady in this situation. I'm so used to my tried and true. I don't want to jump into anything else. But it does look fun from the outside.
Well, then don't worry. Just have fun, Katie. Don't worry about it.
I just babble.
She dabbles and babbles, and so do I. I have a big mouth. The only difference is they gave me an award for it. That's the only real difference.
I like that. We need to put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, I do. I should. I always have fun. I always have fun on my show. It's like I'm a trained professional when I screw up, because it's so fun to screw up still, even after all this time. It's like I still make a lot of the same mistakes I did when I started. I'll never change, and that's a wonderful thing.
Oops!
You gotta reveal your humanity.
Yeah. Well, again, it's not. You can own anything on the screen, anything. It doesn't matter. It's all in how you carry it. Right? It's all in how you carry it, because, yeah, they went to stay.
Look at that. There you go. See, you got a new viewer.
That's right. That's right. And that's just it. Like, so I want to be motivational. I want to make you think, and I want to have fun. That's who I am. That's what I do. Right? That's it. I kind of, again, I know what I want. I'm content with who I am, and I just go out and do it. and I don't worry about the rest. I just enjoy the fact that my life is incredibly blessed. Every day, or almost every day, I get to talk to amazing people, you guys included. I'm flattered to be here. I'm always it's still a very humbling thing. Next week, I got Sylvan Newell, who watched me murder the Aerosmith song in the audience. He actually got to watch it. And Sylvan's got like a really fun story, so I can't wait to have him. I got December Lace, a former pro wrestler, comic book guru, coming on next week. She's a badass. She's really fun. So I'm getting to meet all these amazing people, and they want to come on my show. And that's a very honestly humbling thing. Right? So I'm going in my own direction because I don't really feel like even though I'm back in Alberta, I don't feel like I'm part of any one community anymore. I kind of feel like I've just established my own little universe, and people are coming in and out of it all the time. And I'm good with that.
Now, that kind of speaks to the whole how the pandemic hit us all too. It took us out of our current communities and kind of forced us into finding our own communities, even if that means reaching out to people who don't even live anywhere near you.
Mm-hmm.
We become closer through the internet than we were when we could go outside freely without any restrictions.
I met Christina Z, one of the big pioneers for women in comics. Awesome. Incredibly curious woman, sexy as hell. And I never thought I'd have a conversation about kink and hockey in the same sentence, but there we did. It was fun. And it was one, again, and this is the thing. I get this every day. Like somebody incredible, amazing. And it doesn't matter who it is. I had Anita Studer on there not too long ago, and he's just awesome. I haven't had Rebekah Jonesy formally on the podcast, but she did get to read her romance on my show during the pandemic. And I know that I go, well, what do you want? I want to do a theme for romance authors. Wait, I can read romance? It's like, yeah, go right ahead. I don't care. Right. And just because, again, I truly think that romance authors do not get the love and respect they deserve. They really don't. It takes incredible skill to write a good romance. And it's honestly something I recognized when I was in Calgary. I got to meet the romantic community there. They're some of the best writers we have in the city, and they don't get the respect they deserve. Mm-hmm. And they're great. They are legitimately great people. And so it's like, I'm always going to have a little bit of a soft spot for the romantic community as a result. So if occasionally I'm going to let dirty words fly and lots of really crazy, kinky things, whatever. It's cool. Life's short. They were actually, they were, Rebekah. They really, really were.
That's interesting.
They actually were. They really were. Conversations on my YouTube channel if you want to listen to it. Christina was a very, very cool guest. I'm trying to get her back actually because I think she's amazing. So
all right, well, how about your outlook, because we're getting close to the hour here? Outlook for 2022. What are you thinking is going to happen?
We're going to become more dishonest. That's what I think is going to happen.
I didn't mean society. I meant you.
Me too.
I'm like, okay.
No. Sorry. For me?
We went like positive.
Yeah. You didn't. Yeah. Sorry. For me, I'm making a living doing this. I'm releasing 3 more books at least next year. I've also accidentally invented a board game. I'm going to be experimenting with Kickstarter. The one thing I learned from Alice Zero, I published it myself. Mm-hmm. I got nominated for an award on my own. I didn't need a publisher. I didn't need any of that stuff. I did it myself. So I had this big giant epiphany. I had James Nettles on the show earlier this week. We talked a little bit about some things.
Oh, he's great.
No, me and him could talk for hours. We are two incredibly fun.
I could see you two together, just never-ending conversation.
Yeah, well, he's an incredible. Well, the really refreshing thing from my end, a lot of authors, even people that are older and have done it longer than me, have this guy. Yeah, totally. Don't blame your Bex. But anyways, don't blame me. But he's incredibly smart, and somebody like me very happy with who he is. So there's no permission talk. We're just bullshitting about stuff we both care about. And it's some of it's different, but some of it's the same stuff. Like that, again, we both have a very similar mindset on the business and where it's going and where we think it's going to end up. And ultimately, one of the things I asked him is like, what's the big 5 or big 3 or big, like, there's going to be a cap where the big 5 end up, but they're going to get smaller, and you can see it coming. But I had this epiphany this year that traditional publishing is a niche, and it kind of changed my whole outlook. It's like, why limit myself? And that might sound like a very arrogant statement, but the truth of the matter is, with Kickstarter, with Twitch, with all the, like, there is so much room for people to, I almost forgot. I'm also teaching a podcasting course at the Speculative Fiction Academy. I did this podcasting course this year. You can go learn all my dirty little secrets. I even have as a cool little bonus in the course, I teach you all how to do the basics of making an audiobook for Amazon. I've done it, so I know how to do it. It's a pain in the ass, but it's fun. Right. That said, I think we have the opportunity to become more our independent thing. So if you have an idea of who you are, what you stand for, what you're going to go for, that's not to say I wouldn't work with a publisher, but it has to fit what I'm doing. And I think that's going to become more the driving force in publishing in the future. The big 5 is for a very specific audience, or big 4 or 3, whatever that ends up as. James says 3, I say 2. We'll see who's right at the end. But right. But what it comes right down to is, I recognize that I can get a decent sized audience on my own that listens to my crazy shit all the time. Right. And they'll go with it. They'll disagree with it, but whatever, they'll go for the ride. Right. Totally is. Yes. Rebekah, kinks and audiobooks totally go together. It's a total thing. But, what I see myself doing more and more is, like, I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm just going to find new ways of putting it out there, new ways of telling stories. My goal is ultimately for my writing is also not just to do it as books, but as board games, video games. Notice I'm not saying movies. It's not that I'm against doing a movie, but honestly, I think there's more long-term value in getting a video game and my stuff out there than there is in a movie at this point. That's just my opinion, because I think video games is the last true great frontier of intellectual property. That's just my thing. So that's what I want to get in. That's where I want to go. So that's going to be my outlook next year. Keep making great books, keep putting out podcasts, have great people come on, make a total ass of ourselves. It's going to be great, right? Maybe I'll get myself some more awards. Maybe I don't. Try to get the people on my Big 10 that I haven't interviewed that I want to interview. Try to get another one of those people off that list, right? Mm-hmm. That's a big goal to me. I'd love to do that. And just keep seeing where I can take things, because I don't see limitations. I think you can do absolutely anything right now, and I'm going to just keep doing stuff.
I love it. I love your positivity, and we will have to check in with you again next year to see how that's going.
Yeah.
Maybe what I'll do next year, so actually, I'll show people real quick here. I didn't show you guys this one. I did show you guys this one. I'll show you. It's been 1 year since I've started drawing. So,
do you have a picture of like your first drawing to compare to your?
Oh yeah, so I actually just posted. I posted it up on my Facebook. So my Instagram feed is Pantalleresco. November 27th, 2020. You can see my first real picture I posted on the air.
Okay.
But it's just December 2nd. So this.
Hold on, let me make your screen big here.
This is Nikki Nash. I killed Nikki in the book I'm working on. So she was like, yeah, totally. So the story behind this particular image is this. When I first interviewed Nikki Nash, she showed me this picture, and it was like, I saw her with the guitar, and I just looked at her. It's like, that's who she is. I've never seen that in a picture, like had a picture go like, this is you. There's no, like, that is exactly, this is, at the end of the day, you are the performer and you're fearless when you perform. And that's who Nikki Nash is. And if she ever does listen to this, she's probably going to blush just a touch when she hears that. So I asked her, can I draw you? So what are you going to do? I'm going to kill you. It's like, okay, cool. People like it when you murder them in the book. I don't understand it, but it's just the way it is.
Yeah, they do.
They do. They really do.
That's all that we ask, is make it a good death when you kill us.
No, it's an important death. But the picture I'm working on, like here, although I don't know if it's going to be the final version of this, that's going to be one of the last images in the book. I have a reason for that, and I'm not telling the story behind it, but the next book is my homage to Fahrenheit 451, one of my favorite books of all time. And I'm writing and drawing it. So maybe when it's all done and you get to see some more where I've evolved from there, I'll come back and maybe I'll just show you some of the different crazy ideas I had in terms of putting stuff together.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely be checking in with you. We've actually gone over our hour, but Jane, I know you had something you wanted to announce. Hold on, let me make your screen big too. New release.
Silent Night is out.
Oh, that's a gorgeous cover.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have Silent Night, and then I don't have the covers for Dragon Dawn that's coming out on the 7th, not the 21st, because
hold on. Which one was it again?
Dragon Dawn.
Is that?
Yeah.
Hold on, I think I have it.
You must have it. Yes, the third one in that. So, yep, Dragon Dawn is out on the 7th. The paper book's out now, and then I did the trilogy in a hardcover set.
Ooh.
That is out now.
All right.
So I got, my editor was great. She got things released. So I was like, oh, get it out for Christmas.
For all of our followers, we will put the links for both Jane and Joshua in the show notes below. Probably about 10 minutes after the show is done is when those will pop back up. So if you are watching and you want to know where to find Jane's books or Joshua's books, you'll find them in the show notes. All right.
Thanks for coming, Josh.
Yeah, thank you. I love checking in with you.
Yeah, I hope so. I worry I might have wrecked my welcome with some of the other things I said.
We always have a good time when you come on.
Yeah. But honestly, before I go, Katie, Jane, it always is a pleasure to have you guys. Good luck. Katie, you do a lot more work with the community than a lot of people give you credit for. Thank you for all you do.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and Jane, I heart you. You're one of the freest people I know. I really, really dig you. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, we will be back, not next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another returning guest and a year-end review. So we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Everyone take care and keep on reading.